Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Good morning, Las Vegas. What's going on? Welcome to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. And man, am I screwing up today? Off to a hot start, but it's going to get better. I promise. I'm just gonna bring Phil in because he's got to hear this. Let's get Phil Stamper.
Oh boy,
on here, Phil. You know, I found that if you're listening to the correct station on the board, that would be helpful for the broadcast. Wouldn't you think?
I would think.
Yeah,
I would think.
Yeah.
How would the wrong? Okay. I don't even want to know how the wrong station would possibly get on the board.
Well, we have a couple stations going through here. It's just a matter of hitting the right button. And then I had my little setup up here. You guys can't see it, but there's a screen here that shows what's happening on a couple of different stations. Okay. And I forgot that, I kind of have to switch that too, so I can see what's happening on my station as opposed to our sister station, KXNT. Another failure on my part. Boy, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do to cover all this up? Here's what I'm going to do. Just me, use. Day one-ish, just me, use. Day one-ish. Nobody saw a thing. You okay, Phil?
No. No, but we're going to get into all of that.
Oh, God. It is the best in pro wrestling on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. Talk of Las Vegas. We're also streaming on the Odyssey app. We are also live streaming the show, so you could see me embarrass myself before I started the live stream on YouTube, X, and Facebook at Mark Hoke Show on X and the Mark Hoke Show, Facebook and YouTube. We'd love to have you join us and have some fun. And Phil, I am excited today because we are giving away tickets to AEW's Collision and Dynamite show on Wednesday at the Palms Theater, or the Pearl Theater here at the Palms, Wednesday at 4:30. Two sets of tickets for everybody. So I'm going to give everybody the number right now so you have it. All right, it's 702-257-5396. It's 702-257-5396. And we'll be giving away your chance. It's your chance to win some tickets to join me at the AEW Dynamite and Collision on Wednesday night, man. It's going to be fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. And apparently Ricochet is going to be hanging out around the Odyssey studios on Tuesday as well. So we'll look forward to having another sit down with our good friend Ricochet. I'm sure he's going to have a lot of bitter and nasty things to say to people, which is okay.
Right.
Yeah. So we have a lot to get through because you know that Royal Rumble happened yesterday.
It was the silence tells it all. I think the silence says a lot.
It was okay. Was it?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
It was another B-ish show. Day B-ish. Oh, I got to be careful there. I don't want anybody to think I'm saying something I shouldn't say. But the first thing that I just want to mention about this, I give massive credit to the Saudis for building a stadium in 1 month.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Incredible. Now, and here was the funny part about this, though, that apparently human rights groups want to investigate them for getting this done in a month. They're being rectally examined, apparently, by Amnesty International, ALQST, whoever that is. Business and Human Rights Center and Fair Square concerned about the working conditions of building a stadium in a month. God forbid, you know what? They actually just brought a ton of people in, paid them, and said, let's get this finished. No,
I'm not gonna lie, there was a little bit of that wondering in my brain about like, okay, how did this happen? I'm curious about the process.
Yeah.
Good or, good, ill, bad, what, I want to know how they did it. I think that's awesome in the way that they could construct it, hopefully safely.
Yeah.
And that was a bigger part. How do you build something so fast and make sure it passes all the safety regs and everything you need?
Never happened here in the U.S.
Right.
Which is kind of sad. It would never happen in the U.S. Dude, we can't, here in Las Vegas, we can't get a section of a road done in months. No, Las Vegas paving is the absolute worst. Sorry, said it on the air, but it's true.
And I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I live near Washington, D.C., where the Beltway that got snow and ice last week Sunday, we talked about it while we were on the air.
Yeah.
It still has sections that you can't, like, suddenly the lane's not there because snow and ice is on it because they haven't figured out a mechanism on how to continue cleaning off the roadways.
But the Saudis,
a major thoroughfare between DC and Baltimore just got cleaned yesterday.
You don't have your Francis Scott Key Bridge either, by the way.
No, we don't.
Nope. That got knocked down over a year ago and nothing done.
I know they are making progress. At least that is moving forward.
Oh, that's good. About time. Can't rebuild the Palisades. Can't rebuild Maui. The Amish can go and fix Western North Carolina in a couple of weeks. But, we have a stadium that's getting built right now that's going to take 4 years.
Yeah.
Saudis did it in a month. A little less intricate project, but still. So I just got to say, that's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. All right. So with that, let's get down to the Rumble. We were promised surprises, Phil. We got the new era comment as well, apparently. But we were promised surprises.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. We're going to get surprises. Like it's the Triple H prize box right here,
right,
baby. Dig into the treasure chest and, maybe we'll pull out a Chris Jericho or, maybe we'll get the Repo Man or,
why
something.
Did that become so popular this week? The amount of times I saw the Repo Man talked about as being a surprise entrant in the Rumble. I'm like, really?
Because everybody loves the Repo Man.
Everybody does love the Repo Man. I think except Barry Darsow.
What did we get? What did we honestly get in terms of these surprises?
We got Powerhouse Hobbs.
That wasn't a surprise. Was anybody surprised at that? No.
I was surprised to see him in the Rumble. I knew he was going to the WWE.
Yeah, I saw pictures of him over there before the show started.
I got you.
But
excuse me, Royce Keys.
Yes, Royce Keys. Which, by the way, before anybody starts busting on the name, Royce is his son's name, and Keys is his, I believe, his stepmother's last name.
Okay.
So kind of an homage to the family. So let's not bang on the name too hard. We got some cheese. We got Bryan Danielson cheese in the house as Brie Bella is back.
I was like, what? I'm so confused.
That was it, dude.
Yeah.
In terms of people, that was it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there was an emotional return of Brie. And I know Brittany Brooks is probably going to rip my head off at some point for saying all this. I don't care. Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't care about the Bellas. I can't.
They have a market. Like there are people who do, and that's great. They're back, or at least they were together for this one off, if not back.
I just no. That was it, dude. I mean, I'm running down the list, and by the way, no Chris Jericho.
Nope.
He's still on the AEW roster page. Maybe Chris decided to stay. Maybe. I mean, if he's on the roster page, he's not gone. Guarantee it, Tony would have taken that down in a heartbeat. Maybe have one of his supposed burner accounts deal with that. But dude, that was all. That was it. And they had some issues last night. And I hate to nitpick on a lot of the errors that took place, but some of this stuff was avoidable. I mean, the image of the stadium crowd first.
Yeah.
The LED lights, kind of like the Intuit Arena has in LA. But those lights made it look like nobody was there. Now, when people went around took photos from inside the stadium, you could see that the place was packed. But
in sections, I will say, like, I feel like, of course, camera side, you're always going to pop up a little bit more. But there were times when they were zooming in, and it's like, okay, I see a pod of 3 people, then I see 3 chairs, then I see a pod of 3 people, I see 3 chairs. It's like, what? Okay. And I agree. I agree. Visually, those little pop-up LEDs, which stopped working at one point.
Oh, that's right.
As I'm watching the event, I'm like, wait a minute, what happened to the lights? And like I saw the WWE logo in the background, but it was super faded compared to what it was in the beginning. So I'm like, what's going on? We talk about a month construction. That might be a result of what happened.
Yeah. But just wasn't a good look on TV. No matter how many people were there, it was a bad look on TV. Man, where else do I go on this? I mean, just the women's match was all right. Lash Legend looked good. She got a nice little push in there. Apparently they want to get behind Lash.
Mm-hmm.
She was great. Becky Lynch was kind of funny. Oh, go ahead, Phil.
I hated the Women's Rumble. It was so bad. I'm in a place in my wrestling life on the independents where people send me matches like, hey, can you give me critiques? And I look at it in a way that it's like I have to be just open about, like, this is what I see. It's very top of mind, because I found if I don't give any kind of constructive feedback, things will never get better. Like, it does me no service to soft sell it, does them no service. And I'm like, I can only imagine the reaming that should happen, and I feel like it's not going to. I have never seen so many, like, okay, I'm going to charge at you, step, stutter, step, stutter, step. I've never seen so many people who throw punches like they're afraid they're going to hurt the pillow they're about to hit. Like, so many problems. It was funny because it was like Jordan Grace. I called it last week. Jordan Grace was my pick. I thought maybe she would win, and I see her step in. I'm like, wow, she feels so crisp, and everything she's doing looks so great. And then Nia Jax comes in, and I'm like, why does she still have a job? Because everything she does looks horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense, and the sloppiness and the unsafeness all through it. Also, when it was like, if you watch what happens, everything in the Rumble, and both Rumbles had this impact of like, okay, we're going to work to a spot. No one on the outside is trying to get anybody out of the ring because everybody's down to let this spot happen in the ring. And then, right up until the time the timer is going off, that's when we're trying to eliminate somebody, so then we can stop doing that to then focus on the new person who's coming in.
Yeah.
Except when Natty got in, Natty was the only person actually trying to get rid of anybody during parts of the Rumble when something else is happening. I'm like, that's the point of a Rumble. You're supposed to get rid of people. And nobody was working towards it unless it was a purposeful spot.
Yeah, and I agree with that. It just seems very, I don't know, it's very contrived, very controlled, I guess. And it's just, you're putting 30 people in a ring together. It's, you're not having 30 at one time in the Rumble, but, you got 10, 15 people in there. Everybody should be fighting. It's kung fu fighting, man. It's not, everybody, oh, look, someone's walking in the ring. Let's all take a breather, have a little tea and crumpets while somebody gets their stuff in. And I agree. It was both matches.
Yeah. And I get, a wrestling event in general, and especially the Royal Rumble, takes so much coordination. And these are some of the top athletes in the world, the way they're trained, the way they have to keep up their training. But I felt like it was just, I don't know. I don't know if just the time difference was getting to everybody, and maybe that's a big part of what's happening and why we saw some things that, like, this looks really weird and off. But it just didn't. The Women's Rumble especially did not click for me.
Yeah. And those poor women in those bodysuits. Ugh. Yuck. They have to hose those things off. Ugh.
At the same time, it was only like I checked during the Rumble. It was like 64 degrees outside. I'm like, well, it's a little bit warm.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything else I want to hit before the break? But yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's go to break. And guess what? I'm not giving those tickets away yet.
Mm.
But I can't do it at the top of the hour. So there's only one other break left. So just keep that in mind. Write that number down, 702-257-5396. You'll even get to talk to me momentarily. It'll be fun. But we got tickets for AEW Dynamite and Collision coming up at the Pearl Theater at the Palms on Wednesday of this week. And your first pair of tickets is going to be up for grabs here pretty shortly. Let's step back and take a break. Maybe Phil and I will reverse our attitudes a little bit. No, I don't think so. But it's going to be a lot of fun.
I have a great attitude.
We'll get a skewer, will you? Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
We're here with Chuck, founder of Dollar Loan Center.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right. I am not putting the picture up on the live stream just yet because we have a very special guest that's arrived in the studio. He just flew over from Saudi Arabia, Phil. He is the black hooded figure. We got the guy. We know who it is. We did. Are you ready to meet him?
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna try and turn the live stream on here. And here we go. I am the black hooded man.
There's nothing on the screen, by the way.
I am the black hooded man. That's right. I attacked Braun Breaker.
And you're British, I think. That's what
I
that
have
is.
beaten down every superstar in WWE, even when they have removed their cloaks. It was always me. All 47 black hooded attacks have been me. Do you have any questions, Phil Scabba?
I think I'm good.
You're good. I had a great time beating up Braun and everybody else in WWE. And I'll do it again and again and again and again. Because it's all Triple H seems to be able to think of. Holy God. How many black hooded figures are we going to have?
And I've already seen the comparisons of like, well, you can see this much of his face and it looks like it's Logan Paul. And it's like, well, is it or is it not? Like, and if it's Logan, that brings up a whole interesting thing of maybe him and Braun.
My God. More black hooded figures. Anyway.
Black Scorpion. For those of you who get the reference, Black Scorpion.
I just had to throw that in there. So, women's match. Liv Morgan wins. Hey, look, there's mark correct number 1. And I'll just give you a hint. I ran the table. But Liv wins. Good call, Phil.
I mean, I think you called it. I think you actually called Liv last week when we talked about.
I did.
So I think that felt right. I'll be honest, that felt right.
Yeah. I think you've got to have Liv in the main event this year. She is just the work she's done. But I will say this, man, wrap that girl in bubble wrap. Just make sure that when she is doing anything wrestling oriented, that she is covered in pillows and, brace all her knees, tape the shoulders. I don't care what you got to do. Yeah, just please take care of this woman until WrestleMania so nothing bad happens. Please. But congratulations, Liv Morgan. I know it was pretty emotional about the win, and good for her. Good for her. Men's, well, I said we had 2 other matches. AJ Styles loses, career on the line. Gunther takes him out, refuses to take the gloves off, and supposedly his contract is, just about up.
Yeah.
And everybody's just like, oh, he's going to go to AEW. Phil, do you really think AJ Styles is going to AEW?
So there's a whole lot of this that I'm like, I don't know. Because I thought when he signed his initial new contract that it was a little bit longer than this period. When he announced his retirement, he said his last match was going to be WrestleMania months ago. And so the fact that it was going to be Royal Rumble, I'm like, okay, the story is right there. Like here, like, okay, he's now done. I really thought at that point when he didn't take off the gloves, or, he started to when he teased it, put back on, I was like, he's going to come out at number like 29 and be El Grande Americano number 4. Like something wonky, or he's going to grab Gunter and pull Gunter out. Something like I really read even through the Rumble. I'm like, it's still going to be Gunter. It's still going to be Gunter. Gunter comes out as 30. I'm like, it's still going to be Gunter. I see him with a limp. I'm like, it's not going to be Gunter. Because I was like, all right, they're giving him a reason why he can't now win by selling a leg injury he didn't have in his match with AJ. So, yeah. Well, and I know we're going to get to the Rumble later. The match itself, I thought was great.
Yeah, absolutely. It was probably the best match on the card. I put up a tweet and I proposed that AJ Styles revives Dusty Rhodes' Midnight Rider gimmick.
There you go.
Till WrestleMania, which would be fun. Have the Midnight Rider torture Gunther. That's not bad.
Right.
We'll see. We'll see what AJ does.
I mean,
but I can't imagine he's going to AEW. I know everybody wants it to happen, but
I saw a lot of tweets last night that were like, have him do TNA for these last couple of months. Like, okay, there's a relationship
Yeah.
between WWE and TNA. He's already shown up once. Like, all right, that might not be a bad way to go as a nod to like the career he's had. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre kills Sami Zayn for the most part. Sammy's got to do some different stuff in the ring, man. I'm getting a little tired of. I'm gonna get beat up for most of the.
if you can hear me, Mark's having a little bit of difficulty.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, there you go.
Oh boy, there we go. We're back. Sorry, we had to
It was.
mess around with some mic issues a while ago. But Sammy doing the comeback crap. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go. Just let's figure something out different for Sammy. But Drew an emphatic victory. So nice. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Drew looked like a monster and called out Roman Reigns after the match. I don't know if he's going to get him, but I was okay with Drew killing Sammy.
Right. I feel like there might be a different path for what's going to happen with Drew.
What's your path? Go ahead.
I don't know if so again, we're not there at the Rumble yet, but the fact that then Drew gets involved in the Rumble and who he pulled out, that was like, all right, so that the story that's going to happen with these two, and Roman might not be in the future of Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, Roman and Punk wouldn't be a bad match, but I don't know. I think Roman should kill Punk. I think that'd be fun. But hey, whatever.
Best fill in wrestling. I would agree with you.
Yeah, there you go. And then we get to the men's match. Try to pick out. Well, once again, the hooded guy kills Braun Breaker, throws him in the ring. Obafemi disposes of him. He wasn't number one. He was now number two. By the way, if you missed the issue that happened on SmackDown, there was a graphic that was put up that had Braun Breaker entering at number one. And that was an easy fix, I suppose. But my apologies. There we go. But wow, what a tough break for Braun Breaker. But once again, another masked guy beating up another WWE superstar. Yay.
And yet you want AJ Styles to come back as the Masked Rider.
No, the Midnight Rider is different than a black hooded dressed figure. The Midnight Rider is an intentional torturer, and we all know who he is.
Logan Paul.
No, I don't know. I don't know who it is. To be honest with you, I don't really care. I hope it's Adam Pearce.
I kept thinking that like either it's Adam Pearce, like that'll be the payoff, or it is just going to be the payoff that it's been Seth Rollins this whole time, even though it hasn't been Seth Rollins physically, that he just comes and pulls it off, and it's like, oh, it's been Seth Rollins.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, stomped him.
Yeah, Seth Rollins, somebody else we didn't get in the Rumble.
Yeah. By the way, here I have the one of the best souvenirs from the Royal Rumble as well. You ready for this one, Phil?
Okay.
Here, let me grab it. Hang on 1 Okay, here it is.
Okay.
I am holding up the Finn Balor invisibility cloak. This is the one that he wore at the Royal Rumble. We didn't see him there, but this thing, he's autographed it. It's worth $10,000. Makes somebody invisible. This was Finn's. They also had some on sale at the stadium. That's why you couldn't see all the people. $2,500 for those. But yeah, this is the Finn Balor invisibility cloak. No Finn Balor. Are you kidding me? They ended SmackDown with him.
Yeah.
And no Finn. Weird. But okay. So
this whole last week has been about Finn. Like,
yeah. And then he's not on the card. I don't know. I don't know. Brock kills Ilya Dragunov. Complete no sell for Ilya, which I felt bad for him. Look, we've seen these matches where he has tortured Gunther, and Brock just was like, get out of here. Felt bad for Ilya in the match. What did you think of that spot?
I agree. I was not a big fan. I'm like, Ilya's supposed to be, I'm not going to say the new monster, but they've built him that he can go to toe to toe with monsters. and that people have been complimenting like his workout regimen and that he's a beast in the gym and all this stuff. And like Brock comes in and just like, oh, he's jobber number 2.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. If I had never seen Ilya before and I was coming into the Rumble, because there are people who only watch like the 4 big pay-per-views a year. Like, oh, who's this guy? Oh, well, Brock's just killing him. He must not be worth it.
Yeah, and that definitely hurts him.
Yeah.
The double El Grande Americanos is Ludwig Kaiser. Wait, well, I guess no, we don't know. It seems like it could be Ludwig Kaiser, and it seems like it could be Chad Gable. But we had a little couple of comments in the chat box about that. Bionic Scoop says in the chat box, double Americanos popped me.
Mm-hmm.
And Javon Campbell, 8357, that El Grande Americano would have popped with the AAA audience. It would have popped with any audience, but this one, seriously, people would have gone nuts if that was in the United States, Mexico, pretty much anywhere but Saudi Arabia, because they didn't care.
They did get into it. I thought there was a genuine reception for the first El Grande Americano.
I don't know, but
the second one more got an like that kind of reaction.
Yeah, so we get the Spider-Man meme and then off we go. But they both got eliminated back to back. But that was good to see Chad back. So glad to see Mr. Gable back in action. If it is Chad Gable, he would probably insist it is not him, and he's still sitting around with a shoulder injury. Let's see what are the other bad notes did I get? Oh, and of course this Jey Uso thing. And I just happened to be going through Twitter, and the man who can't seem to pronounce my name, JD from New York, had a pretty good rant. I will grant him that. He rants well, and I can't rant like that because I'm on terrestrial radio. But to have Jey Uso's yeeting going on while Brock Lesnar gets eliminated. Brock Lesnar, this wasn't like, the I don't know, somebody like Duke the Dumpster Drosy getting thrown out. This was Brock Lesnar getting eliminated while the crowd is day one-ish.
Yeah.
What are they thinking, dude?
The fact I don't really care for Brock Lesnar, I've never really cared that much for him, so I'm like, okay, whatever. Jacob Fatu got the same treatment too.
Yeah.
Like his elimination was barely caught on the side of the camera. Like it's like this is the guy the locker room is touting that they know he's going to be a big great superstar in the WWE, and they showcase him poorly. It really felt like. Brock, there's been this rumor too that Brock is on his way out potentially, that he might be also doing a little bit of a retirement tour. Maybe Gunter should retire Brock Lesnar, even though I have a feeling he won't like that.
Yeah. It just look, and as much as some people are banging on Brock about things, the one thing that did you remember when Netflix put those stats out a couple weeks ago, where they showed the European views of the pay-per-views, and the top 2 were the ones that Brock Lesnar were on.
Yeah, he is a star. Like
he's a star.
He's not my favorite wrestler, but at the same time, I can't deny the fact that he's former UFC heavyweight champion, former WWE heavyweight champion. Like people know who he is. Like of course that's gonna raise interest.
Yeah. So kind of, I don't know, some bad planning on that. But we get down to and the Powerhouse Hobbs thing too. Kind of an interesting thing they did with that intro, that they actually showed his old name first before they put the new name up. And we've seen guys come in all over the place that have had their names changed by WWE, but I have never seen that happen. What was the explanation behind that? I mean, were they just concerned that the Saudi crowd didn't know who he was, or
ish? I think like if you just went, here's Royce, and he runs to the ring, it would take that little extra moment of like, who, and so because they've also done that more recently with Matt Cardona, to a degree. I mean, he already had some history with WWE, of course. So when he came out and did NXT as Zack Ryder, and then the next time he comes out, they do Zack to Matt Cardona, because Matt Cardona is the name and brand that he built for himself. on the independents. So that's how a lot of people connect to him. And he's trying to rebrand himself. I thought he also got used poorly in the Rumble. He made a tweet saying like, just being in the Rumble is awesome. And I like, that's cool. But I feel like they're making him not Matt Cardona. I feel like they're making him Zack Ryder 2.0.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know, just some strange stuff going on there, but yeah. But once again, match was okay. Roman Reigns is your winner, and once again, a victorious prediction for myself. I went 4 for 4. And it's kind of funny that after Roman ripped Triple H in the nicest way possible, I think it was on the Pat McAfee show, if I remember right. But let me see, because I have the comment here. We haven't evolved. We have great leadership, Nick Khan, but we have to keep up creatively. And it just can't say it much more subtly than that.
Yeah.
And Roman ends up winning the Rumble. So the big dog is back in charge. And Triple H on the post show says, well, we don't know when he's going to show up and make the announcement of who he's going to wrestle, but he will sometime. Interesting. Whole thing going on there with Roman Reigns.
If they wait until the week of Mania for him to go, and this guy, which means then they have 2 main events, like I feel like I'm hoping they're not going to do that. I think WWE is a little smoother than that, but there's that part of my brain that's like, how long are they going to draw this out? Like, because they want to build some interest themselves. I can see if they draw it out for a couple of weeks, but if they make us wait 2 months, people are going to get a little antsy.
Is it CM Punk?
I think it has to be. I think they've told the story of now it's going to be Drew who pulled out Cody Rhodes in the Rumble, that it's Drew and Cody. Even though the commentators tried to say it, Drew got rid of Cody so that Cody couldn't challenge him. I'm like, well, that's an interesting perspective. Oh, so they're going directly into a feud. Okay, cool.
Triple threat, maybe? Roman, Drew, Cody? So now they get their Cody Roman sort of that they were talking about?
Right. But I don't feel that as much. Unless this is a total, like, so something that the WWE has never done before, which, okay, weird creative hat. Roman wins the championship before WrestleMania. Let's say that happens. And then The Rock comes back and goes, well, I'm really the people's champion. I'm really the original chief. And so now you have Roman Reigns versus The Rock, the build that was going to happen 2 years ago. So does that now happen? Because that's also been teased too, that it's possible that The Rock could come back for Mania to try to give that bigger spectacle, or that Roman wrestles, wins the championship, and does what The Rock did when he won the championship last time, doesn't do anything with it for a year and comes back the next Mania in Saudi. So this Royal Rumble actually pays off next year in Saudi, and do The Rock Roman then. So you build that for a year with their very part-time schedules on the air. And then like you have this really weird threaded connection.
Interesting. That's a thought. Yeah, lots of ways they could go with that. So we'll see how that turns out. But there's your Royal Rumble. We'll probably talk a little bit more about it in the second hour as well. But guys, it is time. It's time. I hope you're ready. So remember, there's no travel or anything in this. We got 2 tickets to go to AEW Dynamite and Collision at the Pearl Theater at the Palms. 4:30 start time on Wednesday. Phone number is 702-257-5396. Start as soon as I open those phone lines, you'll know. But start dialing. Caller number 9 is going to win the first set of tickets we're going to give away. So get excited. Guys, got a chance to go to Collision and Dynamite coming up on Wednesday. We'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. A lot more to talk about in the world of pro wrestling with Phil Stamper. We'll be right back.
If you live in Clark County, you are at risk of developing non-smoking lung cancer. Radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas that gets into homes and increases one's risk of lung cancer, and it exists here in Clark County. Radon is colorless and odorless, so the only way you know if your radon level is elevated in your home or office is by testing. To get your free test kit, visit our website with a new interactive map to find a pickup location nearest you at www.extension.unr.edu/radon. 21,000 people die of lung cancer each year, and Nevadans are at a higher risk. If an elevated level of
Mark Hoke Show, you're caller number 9. Congratulations. Yeah. Hey, there you go. All right. Nice. And could I get your name, sir? Chad, last name? Holloway? All right. And what's your email, Chad? All right. Disco_Chad@yahoo.com. Fantastic. Well, we're going to send that off to AEW, and you should be receiving your tickets fairly shortly. So you got it. Congratulations, Chad. Way to go. Yep, you got it.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
All right. We are back on the Mark Hoke Show. I'm failing miserably today. I mean, wow. Just the efforts that I'm putting in are just pathetic. But want to congratulate our winner, caller number 9, Chad Holloway, who, I don't know, some of you may have heard that phone call on the air. We'll find out, but
his part did not. At least I couldn't hear his part.
Okay. Well, that's good. But congratulations to Chad. You and a friend are going to AEW Dynamite Collision on Wednesday night, Pearl Theater at the Palms, 4:30. Show up and be ready for some Tony Khan fun. It's going to be a great time. And we've got another pair of tickets to go away in hour number 2, Phil. So double the excitement, double the fun.
Woo!
There you go. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So, but if you didn't win your tickets and you still want to go, AEWTix.com, and you can get your tickets right now. And by the way, once again, I know I've said this before, but that Pearl Theater is such a great place to watch wrestling. It really is. It is a fantastic facility. You will have a great time. Plus, man, AEW heating up, by the way. It's Tommaso Ciampa, by the way, rolls in, and in 1 week apparently signed a contract on Monday, gets on Dynamite Wednesday, challenges Jay Briscoe, and on Saturday, he is the new AEW TNT champion. How about that, Phil? Wow.
I mean, that is an impressive way to kick off your career at a new company.
It's not bad. Everybody else was sitting out there in AEW, for 5 years or something. It's like, what the heck? But the Psycho Killer got turned loose. He looked good too, by the way. Looked really good.
He does. There's a little part of the narrative that I was like, I think they weren't sure where they were going immediately with them, and they're like, okay, you're gonna go against Briscoe, and then oh no, what are we gonna do when she wins the championship? Like I think they had that map of that, and then like, oh, now you need to be a face, psycho killer, family man. And I felt that felt odd to me. I felt like he made his presence like I'm a dominant, aggressive, assertive heel, and then like on last night they turned him face, and I was like, oh, okay, not
Are
bad.
you sure he's totally face? I don't know.
Okay, here's my daughter, everybody.
Well, bad guys have families too.
They do, but like you don't. Hey, I don't know. It felt a little too like here's a little redemption. Oh yeah, and Briscoe and I we are great friends and we respect each other. And I'm like, I don't know. He's not a bad guy.
I don't know. He wrestles like a bad guy though.
He does.
He turned him loose, man, and it's funny. You've seen some comments he's been making, and he probably felt really restrained in WWE. So he's going to get to be Ciampa again. It should be a lot of fun. But by the way, let's hit some of these comments in the chat box real quick because there were a lot. Bionic Scoop in the chat box when the black hooded guy showed up and in studio. It was a total mystery. Black Scorpion 19, not bad. Bionic Scoop. What else we have? Javon Campbell 8357 chat box says I called the OTC winning. Now he's going to be the WWE Forever Champion. That's a possibility. The way things are going.
Okay.
Let me see. We had the creative fight. The WWE universe wants to beg The Rock, Brian Gerwitz, who's Rock's personal writers on the creative team, and Vince McMahon to take over WWE creative. But the real reason for WWE universe to Triple H is Y2J. Bring Chris Jericho in when he's not showing up. Bionic Scoop says Roman versus Drew. Okay. Also, Scoop, Finn wins the Chamber.
Okay.
Oh, that could be fun because they just came out and said it's a guaranteed title shot. So whoever wins the Chamber is going to get the other champion. It'll be fun to see Finn beat up Punk too. I'd enjoy that. What else we got? One of the El Grande Americanos did the Chad Gable thank you emotes. I think kind of messed up there, but I think I could have been the imposter. I don't know. And Scoop, I love the Hobbs intro. They acknowledged his past. Yeah, and by the way, Michael Cole was tripping over himself, trying to not talk about AEW and not talk about Bryan Danielson at all. He struggled with it yesterday, Phil. He was trying so hard and was catching himself multiple times.
I thought he did well with Hobbs. I think it was just like he's built his name other places. Like I think that was like the closest he sort of said to give like, oh, he's from that other place.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was fun too. Yeah. But it was funny when Bree was doing the yes kicks and he really had to catch himself on that one. One thing here's one thing I'm gonna give Bree a chance. Just because being married to Brian, you gotta know that if she was training to come back, that she was in the gym with Brian. And you're not going to get out of a gym with Bryan Danielson without getting a lot better. So I was thinking about this last night. What would be really fun is if all of a sudden, they're Nikki and Bree are teaming up and Bree just turns into the scientific master in the ring. and Nikki is just looking at her like, what are you doing? You're wrestling? What? Right. Just stunned when she pulls out, some pretty cool moves and stuff like that. So,
I mean, I will say when we got the Bellas the last time in the WWE together, that I thought they had stepped up their game physically in the ring. I thought they were doing much better as being wrestlers in the ring. I thought they had evolved and changed. If that becomes the next step, I think I would be like, oh, that's super cool. Here's a challenge for Natty.
Huh.
See?
Okay. I'm slightly intrigued if they do that. But God, you just don't take that twin magic and no. All right. There's a whole lot more happening in the world of professional wrestling too. We'll hit a little more on the Rumble. So you guys that didn't catch first hour, we'll talk about it. And boy, but We had someone get fired in TNA and a big TNA game. We have a new MLW World Champion. What does this mean to Major League Wrestling? And a whole lot more. PWI Awards, I mean, just a ton of stuff. So Phil Stamper at Trust and Phil, I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us. We will see you in hour number 2. And don't forget, more AEW Collision and Dynamite tickets coming up. We'll be right back.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
This is Ted Cruz. Join Ben Ferguson and me each weekend for Verdict. We take you behind the scenes for the ultimate insider show with the most up-to-date news and reaction.
Saturday mornings at 10 on KDAWN and everywhere on the free Odyssey app.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
I don't know, Phil. I kind of like it in here. I like being the black-hooded man. The one that causes devastation, pain, blues, and agony to all of the WWE superstars. What do you think? Should I go with it?
I think you need to work on the accent a little bit. It's there. Oh, your mic went out again.
I have apologized to everybody. We were shifting mics around in here and have a little problem, but we're working on it.
Just hit it. Just hit it a few times. It'll be fine.
I can't do that, but bear with me for 1 sec. Okay, I think I'm all right. But hour number 2 of the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM. Talk of Las Vegas. We bring you the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. I got Phil Stamper from the Wrestling Revolver along with me, and one of the great experts of independent wrestling on the planet. I think that's a fair statement.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. So we're gonna get back to the Royal Rumble here for everybody. Of course, Liv Morgan and Roman Reigns will be headed to WrestleMania to challenge for one of the world championships.
They pointed to the sign. They pointed. Oh,
we're going to be seeing a lot of sign pointing coming up. But Bleacher Report always does a lot of great work, and I love those guys. You know, and Eric Beeston put up his winners and losers. Curious to hear what you think about this list, Phil.
Okay.
So it's a couple of obvious ones: Liv Morgan, Roman Reigns. But Lash Legend, yes, I would say she is a winner.
Yeah.
Well, no doubt about that. She looked pretty good. Positive
comments. I think the commentary did well putting her over. So,
yeah. Loser, Alexa Bliss.
Really?
Well, here's what they said. Her tag team partner got the Iron Woman run, lasting nearly an hour, while Bliss was the 5th woman eliminated from the bout. Yes, the 1-2 start was nice, but Flair is the priority in the team for better or worse.
I think that it sets up animosity between the two of them. I don't think she's diminished in any way by how she got eliminated.
Yeah. It'd be nice to have a tag team not break up and fight just one time. Just once. Winner, Sol Roca. Yeah, she looked pretty good. Got down to the last 3. This is an interesting one, and might want to talk about her a little bit more. Loser, Bailey.
Ooh.
Romal's entry should have meant more than it did. Not allowed the same lengthy run as Flair or the story advancing elimination of Becky Lynch. Her and teammate Lyra Valkyria were eliminated by the Bella Twins in a moment that is more likely to set up a Raw match than a significant role in WrestleMania 42.
Wow.
Is Bailey out of there? When that contract's up, I think she's got less than a year to go.
I feel like
gone.
I do feel like her time is coming. I don't know, and I don't know if that's for better or for worse if she goes. To be very honest, I think
if she shows up in AEW with Mercedes, her best friend,
right? It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I get it. I was trying to find a name. Sorry, I was distracted. I was trying to find a name of somebody in the Rumble, and now I can't remember. I've kind of been expecting it. I would not be shocked. They are good friends. You know, I think it would be a way for it would be a different kind of travel schedule, different environment. And in a way, it actually might make Bailey physically work a little bit differently. I'm not saying that in any way that she's bad, but just I think sometimes you do need to step away and get change. and she's been in WWE for a long time, and I think having that opportunity maybe to go somewhere else and then come back might actually be a refreshing step.
Yeah, and well, WWE's people do tend to work a lot very similarly. So, I don't know. Rhea Ripley, a winner. Duh. Loser, Sami Zayn. And yeah, it's. I saw somebody tweet, I'm going to set up Sammy to win the world championship next year's WrestleMania. I'm like, okay. I think we're thinking ahead a little bit on that.
Right.
Winner, Obafemi. Other ones for the men's, loser, Matt Cardona. Funny you brought him up. Winner, Javon Evans. Loser, Rey Mysterio. Loser, LA Knight. Boy, LA's just got to be going crazy.
Did you say Javon was a loser or a winner?
Javon was a winner.
Okay, good. I was about to say he did really well. I think he showed up. He showed up ready to work. He worked. I think I think I hate to say it in this way, but the way he worked was like, this is a refreshing Kofi Kingston, like, and in a different environment, in a new generation, like but also as a singles guy, because we've always known Kofi, even though he was world champion. Oh, but he's part of the New Day, and I feel like that has always been the default. Like, oh, he's just quote just the tag guy. At the same time, like I look at Evans and I'm like, ooh, like there's something so special there, and so I'm glad he had that opportunity to showcase it.
Yeah, I just hope they don't do something when Leon Slater comes up, like, and those guys get stuck together. Let Javon do his thing. Let Slater do his thing, and let's just not make a stable of black wrestlers just for fun, Yeah, because I'm sure the temptation's going to be there. So we'll see. But those are Bleacher Report's winners and losers.
Who this and I feel bad I can't remember this person's name. They were early in the Rumble, were all red.
Oh,
Dupree
might have been.
I feel bad because now I just can't remember who it was. They did not do well. I don't think they showed up very well. But now I can't remember who it was.
Let me see if I've got my list of entries here. Where is it?
I was trying to find pictures.
Order of entry was Flair, Bliss, Kiana James, Nia Jax, Ivy Nile, Lola Vice. She was the first one out. Candice LeRae, Jordan Grace, Becky, then Sol Roca, Roxanne, Maxine, Natty. So then Liv. So that was about the first half.
Okay.
But I'm blanking on it too. I apologize. But so Royal Rumble, it's in the books. But I will say this: I saw a great tweet that listed off everybody that wasn't there. No Finn Balor, no AJ Lee, no Jericho, no Montez Ford, no Carmelo Hayes, no Tama Tonga, no Bianca, no Saraya. I thought she was going to be there. No Trish Stratus, no Lita, no Wyatt Six member, none of them in it. No Otis. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, just they're like I said, in the first hour, no surprises. No surprises. I mean, Brie Bella wasn't a surprise to me, so oh, God, I don't know. That's part of the fun of the Rumble is you just never know who's going to show up, but we kind of knew who was going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a killer, but yeah. But congratulations to Roman and Liv as they will head to WrestleMania. TNA had their Feast or Fired match a week ago, and the briefcases were unveiled. And the loser with the fired briefcase, Steve Macklin, and former world champ, international champ, and I know that his contract had been coming up, but is this a ruse, or is Steve really gone from TNA?
And I need to be clear because I feel like when I say the thing that I'm building in my brain, this comes with no knowledge. His contract had already expired and he had gotten an extension. So he was technically on a new contract. And so when this match happened, my brain was like, oh no, it's going to be Steve. I was like, it's going to be either Steve or Trey. And just because of everything else that happened with Trey recently, I was like, this could perpetuate that particular story. And so I felt like it was coming for one of them in particularly. I was like, no, because then they made a big deal about re-signing Trey. That I don't think they would go down that path. So I was like, oh no, I think it's going to be Macklin. I'm really curious what happens next. Is it turning into a story? Does he become the master? I keep saying the master rider. I know that's not the right name. But
Midnight Rider.
Midnight Rider. Sorry. Is he going to become the Midnight Rider in TNA? I think he brings so much to the table. He's such an aggressive competitor. The fact that he is former military and he works for military charities. Like he was on a special on Fox News about the work he was doing. I don't want to say it was Wounded Warriors for sure.
Tunnel of the Towers.
Thank you. I was like, wow, he has all these other connections too, and is a great talent. So I'm curious where he will land next. Because I want to see more of him. And I see him at Revolver, so I know I'll still see him, but I want to see more of him out there.
If he does end up in AEW or WWE, here is my suggestion. Steve could be presented as an all-American hero, but with an edge. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want him out in a Captain America suit or anything like that.
Right.
But a Wolverine, Hawkeye kind of persona, mm-hmm. where he's more silent but deadly.
Yeah.
The guy that comes in to fix things when it goes wrong. And you run the pieces about his military service. You run the pieces about, the Tunnel of the Towers work that he does and all the things he's gone through, and just kind of remind everybody once in a while, now this is an American hero. But you don't make him like a Sergeant Slaughter kind of American hero. Just have him be the guy. And I actually came up with a catchphrase for him. So Steve, if you use this, it's all good. Just when there's a big problem, Steve Macklin shows up and says, I've got it.
Yeah.
And he comes in and beats the living hell out of somebody. And every time someone's a little out of line, it's Steve Macklin time. And just turn that, have him be the mild-mannered guy just walking down the street. But when the time calls, let him loose. And
oh,
yeah, go ahead.
So in the Royal Rumble, the black mask comes out, and there's been some clips of like, well, look at his face. You could see a little through the mask. There was a little bit of facial hair on like above and below the lips, and then people were comparing like, well, it might be Logan Paul. And I'm like, no, but the guy under the black hood, even if it was Logan Paul for just the segment, I was like, the guy was too broad to be Logan, and I'm like, oh my god, it could be Macklin.
Oh god. See, I'd just be afraid.
Problem.
I would be afraid that WWE would kind of take it too far, but presenting Steve like that,
mm-hmm.
Would be, I think would be fantastic for him. And it fits his personality.
Yeah,
he's not the goofy kind of, like I said, like a Sergeant Slaughter kind of dude, but he's very subtle. But when the time comes, he'll turn it on and he'll rip you apart. And, could you imagine the t-shirt sales that would say, I got it. People would buy that shirt.
Yeah.
And it's a theme that would actually resonate with a lot of people too, I think. Just things are rough and not going well. I got it. And just keep him at an even keel. I love Steve to death. And whatever is going on, whether this is a storyline in TNA or he's really going somewhere else. And boy, wouldn't it be great if he got to get back there with Deonna Purrazzo, his wife, and do some damage in AEW. That would really help her out too.
I was thinking a lot about that too.
Yeah. So a lot of possibilities for Steve Macklin, but yes, he gets the fired briefcase. Killer Cross is the new MLW champ as he wins the Battle Riot, outlasting 39 other competitors. A pretty impressive run there for Cross. He went into that match at number 1 and ends up winning the title, including beating out the former champ Mads Kruger to win that title. How big a deal is this for MLW to have Cross as the champ, Phil?
I think it means a lot more to Cross. I think MLW is doing something different right now. You know, the studio taping style that they're doing is visually different. And so I think they're trying to give themselves a way for people to look at them to be interested and engaged. I think Killer Cross can do that. Killer Cross, we've talked on this show about Killer Cross and all the things that we know he can do, how creative he is, how aggressive he can be in the ring, how talented he is. And so I think it's going to bring up the title even more and give it just an additional level of recognition. I get to see him on Thursday at Wrestling Revolver in Dayton, Ohio. Cheap plug.
Tell him I said hi.
Will do. And so I think it means a lot. And I'm really glad that MLW has given that opportunity.
Yeah, I think this is pretty good for MLW. I mean, they're going to get a guy that is well publicized. A lot of people thought shouldn't have been ousted at WWE.
Yeah.
And you know, with the money that they got from WWE to up the production a little bit, you know, this is a big deal, and it is good for Cross too. So this is going to be fascinating to see if MLW can capitalize on this, and you know, maybe push their organization with Cross at the front. I'm pretty excited about it. Phil, one other thing that I'm excited about is that we have 2 more tickets to give away to the AEW Dynamite and Collision shows at the Pearl Theater at the Palms coming up on Wednesday here in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm going to do? Are you ready, everybody? I'm going to give away the other set of tickets very, 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 very shortly. Okay. So here's the number 702-257-5396. It's 702-257-5396. Caller number 9. Pretty close to right now ish is going to win those tickets. So as soon as I unblock those lines, once we get to the break, start your dialing fingers, and you could be hanging out with me and a couple of guys from the show and our previous winner, Chad Holloway, and head on over to AEW Dynamite Collision on Wednesday. It's going to be a great time. So get ready, dial it up right now. Let's win. See you on the other side.
Hi, I'm Alan Stock, inviting you to join me October 9th as we celebrate.
FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
We got a winner, Phil.
We've got a winner.
Another big winner. I want to congratulate Robert Belouz as he is going to be heading to AEW Dynamite and Collision. Got a pair of tickets for him. And, he can wave at Tony Khan just like I will. But it'll be a lot of fun. So we'll look forward to seeing you and at Chad Holloway and friends at the AEW Dynamite and Collision tapings at the Pearl Theater at the Palms on Wednesday, 4:30 start time. And if you can't win any more tickets, but you can still go buy some. AEWTix.com. Pretty cool.
It is cool.
Phil? Yeah. All right. I'm glad we agree, Phil. Oh my God, I'll tell you what a show we do here. But this is the Mark Hoke Show, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment, coming right out of Las Vegas. I want to thank all of you for joining us on the day after the Royal Rumble. Oh, we got a comment about Killer Cross in the chat box. Javon Campbell, 8357. I'm calling it early. Killer Cross for Indie Wrestler of the Year. Shout out to current Indie Wrestler of the Year, Shotzi. Cross, I could see Cross being Indie Wrestler of the Year next for this current year.
Yeah.
I could see that. By the way, Pro Wrestling Illustrated. And Phil, you're in the industry. If you, out of all the awards that are being given out, because all of a sudden everybody's doing it, is the PWI award still the one you really want to get?
That's a good question. I feel like PWI has lost its luster a bit. To be very honest, it years ago got damaged in its reputation, and this is before the current production staff. Like, there's a whole new editor and everybody who's involved. But years ago, they got rocked by multiple people paying for their spots. There was a former writer of the PWI that was a promoter who put people in who hadn't even wrestled yet. Like, there have been sneaky things like that have happened in its history that I think have tarnished it. But I think now it just doesn't feel. It doesn't feel as prestigious.
Well, and to be honest, they were the only real awards for a long time.
Yeah.
But now everybody and their grandmother's giving out awards. But most of those awards have been announced. And if you did not see the list, a lot of variance this year. There was. But Cody wins Wrestler of the Year. Mercedes is the female Wrestler of the Year. The Hardys won the tag team award. I don't love the Hardys, but that's kind of a little bit of a surprise there. But I guess it was a little down year on tag teams, but and that's not saying that Matt and Jeff didn't win and earn it, and they were awesome, because they are. But it was an interesting year. I'll have to look and see who they were against. This match of the year, just was so competitive. John Cena and Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam is your PWI match of the year, which was a great one. I still liked AJ and John, though. Still like that one. Most popular wrestler of the year was Tony Storm. Comeback wrestler of the year was John Cena. This is an interesting vote. Most improved Harley Cameron. Indie wrestler of the year was Shotzi. Inspirational wrestler of the year, Mike Santana. Rookie of the year, Kendall Gray. And Shawn Michaels wins the Stan Weston Lifetime Award, for lifetime achievement. So some interesting ones there. But wrestler of the year, Mercedes came in second.
Yeah.
She almost beat Cody in that. And that's only in 2020, Bailey was second, and Mercedes, as Sasha Banks, was fourth. And those are the only times that the women have actually appeared in the top four in the Wrestler of the Year award. It's pretty fascinating that Mercedes almost pulled that off.
When you look at she's won in total, was it 13 championships?
Yeah.
So, that does speak to her and what she's done. I know on the show we've been critical sometimes of her or how she's been portrayed, but that still says something about her reputation in the industry.
Yeah. And the top four for Wrestler of the Year, were Cody, Mercedes, John Moxley, and Seth Rollins. No John Cena in the top 4. He won all these awards, but he didn't get in the top 4 in the voting. I mean, that kind of blows me away a little bit because, to be quite frank, I think that John Cena was the wrestler of the year. I'm going to stand by that.
I'm actually a little shocked that John Moxley's in there, not because of anything wrong with John Moxley. At the same time, like, he is the workhorse of the AEW. Like, even when he's been hurt, like here he is doing, 3 events a week for AEW. He's on the road all the time. He's been in a lot of their major storylines, and so like I get it. I do get it. I get why AEW fans would probably vote him in.
But that means they passed on Hangman Adam Page, who won Wrestler of the Year from the guys at Sports Illustrated, and a lot of which we know here on the show pretty well.
I would have voted for Strickland more than Adam Page.
Understandable. I don't know. It was the one thing that I think when you look around and you see a lot of these awards really, for the most part, did get spread around. I'm still a little surprised on, I forgot who it was. Stephanie Vaquer won the award from. I want to say it was ESPN. But other than Mercedes, man, these awards went to a lot of different people. A lot of different matches got considered. And I think that it really speaks to the fact of where the industry is, that it's in pretty good shape. We have a lot of talent that is out there and doing well. We've had a lot of great matches. I mean, it's hard to pick one.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
There wasn't a clear, like this year, there wasn't I would say a clear standout. And obviously, mine is different than a lot of other people's. So, an interesting place for pro wrestling right now.
I would agree. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, my computer just went weird and I can't change browsers, so I apologize.
I hear some musical dinging though, so that was kind of fun. But yeah, so congratulations to all the PWI winners. I know there's a couple more that are going to get announced pretty shortly. Okay, I got a hit on this. Phil, are you ready?
Okay, let's go.
As we know, the amazing Vince Russo is running the book at Juggalo Championship Wrestling. And if you did not see the most recent clip that came out of there, our friend Cocaine, spelled Cokane, pulled out a big bag and dumped it on the, shall we say, rather ample buttocks of the ring rat, and was going to snort cocaine, which is a big superpower in the ring, gets him going. Was going to snort the coke off the backside of the ring rat before, God bless Kerry Morton, interrupting that. Phil, this is Vince Russo unrestrained again. And is it good or bad?
I mean, I feel like it's writing along a narrative that people might associate with JCW. I mean, Sinister Minister, like, was it not even maybe a year ago at a side table was snorting cocaine on one of their shows? No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. That wasn't JCW, was it? Was that
I'm not sure.
Now my brain is sorry. I apologize to JCW if that was not correct. So like, I get it. And his name is Cocaine.
Is this good booking or bad booking?
Oh,
Vince Russo's philosophy, if you don't remember from back in the day in WWE, where Vince was able to kind of restrain him a little bit when it came to some of his ideas, but then when he took the book at WCW, it was all hell breaking loose. Yeah. But his philosophy is make a shocking standout moment that hopefully people are going to talk about, whether it's good or bad. And we're just going to make tabloid wrestling. I don't know, Phil. I mean, there's, from the marketing person in me, I'm saying Yep, you got your attention. But yeah, do people want to watch Juggalo Championship Wrestling when they see something like that? Is it different? Yes. But is it good different or bad different? This is the enigma of the work of Vince Russo. I don't know how to feel about it.
There's part of my brain too that's like, he may have the book, but JCW is also owned by the Insane Clown Posse. And Violent J especially is a little bit more in the operational run of it too. So it's like, was this singularly a Russo idea? Was it jointly? Again, the wrestler's name is Cocaine. So like, I'm like, it's also not far of a stretch from where they are in that story too. And was Kerry Morton coming out to stop it from happening because he wanted Ring Rat all to himself? Because that also that might be a little true to life. But I'm just saying.
Understood. But yeah, it's just so crazy to see Vince back and
and we're talking about it. That's the thing too.
Yeah. It's just a matter of good, bad, or ugly. You can watch the video, make the determination yourself on that one. But it was pretty wild. There is another rumor, and Phil, maybe you should be flying out here with me to go to AEW Revolution coming up in March down in LA, because it is out there, not confirmed, but it is out there that Shane McMahon had another meeting with Tony Khan, and that March 2026, which is when Revolution is, that he is going to become the AEW general manager figure. This has been rumored for a long time of Shane getting involved with AEW.
Mm-hmm.
First, do you feel there's any legitimacy to this? And second, if this is going to happen, is it a good or bad thing for AEW?
Well, if it was to happen, I think it would only be a good thing. You have a McMahon on the payroll. You have a McMahon as a face for you on television. I think that would be a good thing for AEW. I don't know if I buy the legitimacy of it though.
Okay.
And there have been rumors. I mean, Shane's been rumored about before. There was a while ago when this is way before the TKO takeover, where Triple H was rumored for a brief period of time. So like, I don't know if I buy it. For me, wrestling is one of those things, like, until it happens, it doesn't happen. And
right.
So like, I need to see it happen. I wouldn't put money on it or against it, to be very honest.
You know, I've been thinking about this since I saw the post, and of course, we remember a while back that the two of them got photographed together in a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
But someone shouldn't have done that, but they did take the photo. I think it would be a good thing, and I have a feeling there's a lot that we might be in the majority on that if it happens. But I've always liked Shane, and I think Shane got held back by his dad a little bit at times.
Yeah.
And got frustrated with his dad with a lot of stuff that he was doing. And I think a lot of it was the personal stuff, maybe more than the professional. But turning Shane loose in AEW, I mean, everybody's going to go ballistic. You're going to get a huge boost out of that right off the bat. But Shane knows what the hell he's doing too. The one Rumble match he didn't book the best. That was one of the ones during the pandemic. But man, I'm okay with Shane coming in there.
Right.
I think it opens up a myriad of possibilities that, man, some old rivalries, old friendships.
It goes right into a storyline of favoritism, not favoritism.
Yeah.
I think it would be easy. The thing that people forget about Shane McMahon too is he is also I don't want to call him a true tech mogul in the same way that you might think of like an Elon Musk kind of a guy, but he is in a respect in the telecommunications industry. He's up there. And so like he helped to found an internet and entertainment company in China. So he has some of that history. When WWE, in the history of the WWE, when were launching a website before the day of like websites were things that every company needed. He was running it. I think it was him and Joey Styles, I think, behind the scenes were running it. And it's like, okay, so he's always sort of had that little bit of tech edge and how it blends into entertainment, how it gets out to people. So even if it was like, it's just a consultation conversation, I think it's nothing but beneficial towards AEW.
Yeah. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And oh boy, that would be, to me, that would be a huge shot fired at WWE. So we'll see if that would come to fruition. Let me see let's see, I've got a minute. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go to break and we'll just save all this other fun stuff. We have a retirement match coming up WrestleMania weekend here in Las Vegas. Who's it going to be? We have a former DX member feuding with Dave Meltzer. Oh, and props to a amateur wrestling referee. Stick around, everybody. We've got a whole lot more coming up on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, Talk of Las Vegas. Also on that Odyssey app. Phil Stamper and I will be right back.
This is
on. You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Blicky over there on the live stream. It's Phil Stamper, everybody. It's amazing. Very happy to have Phil Stamper with us. He's awesome. Phil,
you're
okay?
A little low.
Yeah, I know I'm a little low. I'm doing my best. I just got to talk a little bit louder. We had a microphone disaster in the KDAWN studios this week.
Oh, no.
So all of our microphones got shifted around, and We're still working on that, so I do apologize. My golden microphone got switched out. I was not happy. It was annoying. But some other AEW news. This one, I don't even know if we should care about this story. Nick Piccolo, who is an agent to a bunch of wrestlers, accused Tony Khan of having a burner account. And apparently this burner account got deleted after Nick did it, and saying that Tony's out insulting people and on a separate account. Do we care? Do we care?
We don't. And there is a little bit of hilarity in my brain about it. Like, everybody needs an opportunity to vent. And the one thing that social media has allowed in certain ways is that anonymity to do it. Well, as Tony Khan, you can't go on your Tony Khan platform and say it. So if it's true that he had a burner account and was saying things that maybe how he really feels about things, maybe that's healthy. And that's a good way to be able to express yourself without outing yourself.
Tony needs it too. Tony is a very busy and highly motivated man. And so I don't care if Tony has a burner account. I really don't. I would hope that I would be getting insulted by a Tony Khan burner account. I'm fine with that. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, that story came out. But also, so
Mark, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. And as you're working on, I could, I do. Again, I think it's hilarious that if he had this and was trolling other people. But again, I hope he wasn't doing it to be mean, rude, intolerant. I hope it was just a way of, okay, I have this moment to vent.
Sorry guys, I'm dealing with
I can see Mark, he's on screen. He's really trying to get this done. But what do you think? If you're watching and you're paying attention to the chat, what do you think about Tony Khan having a burner account? If it was true, love to hear from some of you about what you think about it. Again, I am so sure some of you have burner accounts so that you're not putting yourself out there in that way. I don't know if Mark does. Mark, maybe Mark is the one who's secretly tagging me and stuff and like getting mad at me all the time. I can see it. Can totally see it. Not sure what's going on over the studio. Technical problems, that's okay. So glad that you're here with us today. Of course, if you're following us, you can hear us always on the Mark Hoke Show. Make sure you're following Mark Hoke Show on all of our social media. My name is Phil Stamper. You can watch us, follow me on social media at Trust in Phil. I heard a click.
Oh, I heard a click. There we go.
That sounded like a good click.
Yeah, that sounded like a very good click. That's like a chiropractor thing going on there. So thank you, Phil. I appreciate you.
I did a horrible cover, and I'm so sorry.
It was terrible, but that's okay. AEW Dynamite and Collision, of course, coming up at February 4th here at the Pearl Theater at the Palms. Make sure you get out there. But Dynamite, with the numbers coming out, Phil, may have beaten Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah,
in viewership. Maybe. They're waiting to pull it all together. But after a couple of bad weeks on Dynamite, all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah.
Tony Khan might be jumping through the roof here in a couple of days once all this gets compiled. What do you think about that?
I think that would be neat. And again, I think AEW has done a lot of work, especially in the last half year to a year, to really try to like turn the ship in a different direction. And I praise them for that. I think, we've talked about here before, their pay-per-views are doing so phenomenally well. And I did feel like their television lagged at times, and now I feel like some of their television's getting more and more caught up. So I feel like the product is just continuing to improve.
Another guy from AEW that I don't know where this came from with Dave Meltzer from Wrestling Observer, but he called out Billy Gunn and said Billy wasn't one of the top 200 wrestlers of all time, and wasn't a good worker and all this. I don't know what Billy Gunn did to Dave, but man, I'm sorry. Why Dave was busting on Billy Gunn of all people.
Right.
I didn't get. What did you think of that little kerfuffle?
Kind of the same thing. Confused? Like, what did Billy Gunn do to you, bud? At the same time, I don't know who I would put in my top 200 wrestlers.
Oh God, how do you make that list?
Right. So, just to be fair, like, I don't know. But at the same time, like, why? Like, what did Billy Gunn do to you to like make you so unhappy with Billy Gunn?
I still haven't figured that out. I still haven't figured out where that came from. It just, I don't know. Look, Papa Dave, has been a fixture in the pro wrestling industry for a long time, but that one was just a little odd. We also, yeah. Well, a guy that's been in for a long time, and we're going to be saying goodbye to him right here in Las Vegas over WrestleMania weekend. The Sandman has announced that he will be having his retirement match here in Las Vegas Friday the 17th, 7 p.m. at Joey Janela's Spring Break 10. I didn't even know Sandman was still wrestling, but okay. Your thoughts on a Las Vegas retirement for the Sandman?
It'll be nice that Las Vegas can say goodbye to him because he's already said goodbye in 2 other retirement matches. So I'm curious what will happen at this one. Yeah, it just it proves our point about AJ Styles. Anything can happen in the world of wrestling, and if you say goodbye, that doesn't always mean forever.
No, it does not. But so looking forward to Joey Janela's Spring Break 10 on Friday the 17th as the Sandman retires. Maybe. Again. Probably.
This time for sure.
Again. It's unbelievable. Backlash. Everybody thought this was going to be back in Puerto Rico, but Tampa steals it away. Phil, road trip to Tampa. That's not bad. That'll be on May 9th. So a little surprised that this is not going overseas in any way.
Right. Not bad at all. I am so frozen in Maryland right now. I think the wind chill last night was like -10. I'm not exaggerating that. I think it really was -10. So even today there's like 30-mile-per-hour winds because the nor'easter's off the coast. So it's cold. and hearing like, let's go to Tampa for some wrestling, I'm all about it.
But are you surprised that after all the talk about them going to Puerto Rico that they shifted this back to the state, to the official states and not the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico? And
again, I don't know why per se they did. Like if there was a reason, like the venue was really unavailable, like they inadvertently put it out there and like, oh, we have to backtrack now. Who knows? Yeah, who knows? But the fact that I thought it was interesting that Triple H put it out before the pay-per-view. I mean, maybe that was because people are paying attention to the Royal Rumble. It's one of the flagpole pay-per-view premium live events for the WWE. That okay, let's put it out there and make people go like, oh, maybe they're going to talk more about it during the show and like just build some more interest. Maybe that was the reason behind putting it out beforehand. I just thought it was interesting that they did it that way.
Yeah. So sorry, Puerto Rico, but no backlash for you. Braun Strowman, by the way, we want to wish him all the best. Mm-hmm. Got a nasty knee infection. Ended up in the hospital for a while. He has been discharged, but yuck.
Yeah.
They're never fun.
No.
Not at all. Not at all. TJ Perkins, that name is popped back up. Of course, former cruiserweight champion WWE. And if you didn't know, Fox is doing a show with AAA. And on that show, TJ Perkins wins a shot at the cruiserweight title for AAA. So TJ Perkins getting back on the radar. And that means if he's back on AAA's radar, he's back on WWE's radar.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting that TJ Perkins making his way back into things, huh?
It's so funny because, I mean, he has not stopped wrestling. Even though he left the WWE, like he's continued. Last night, he was at Top Tier Wrestling up in Ontario. He wrestled a friend of mine, Carter Mesa. They had a great match. And so I'm not surprised to have him go back to AAA because he's been to AAA before. But you're right. Now that it's under the WWE auspices, it's like, oh, this is interesting. So I'm really curious what it might mean for the future of TJ Perkins.
And I'm curious what it could mean to cruiserweight wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Any chance that maybe WWE revives that division?
I hope so. I miss it, to be very honest. I always liked the cruiserweight division, or even before in the WWE when it was the light heavyweight championship. Like I miss that. I think that brings a different styling that you can showcase very well on your product. I think I give some more people an opportunity and highlight them differently. I think they've lost some opportunities by not having it out there.
Yeah, and it's tough for some of the smaller guys to come into WWE.
Mhm.
And AEW, a lot of the guys generally not as big there, but WWE's just got a ton of monsters, and it'd be nice to be able to give some of these lighter guys a chance to really showcase what they can do, because it's hard for somebody who's really small to get in a ring with somebody that's really big and be able to do the moves that they do when with somebody that's 300 pounds as opposed to somebody that's 190. Yeah. So maybe we'll see some cruiserweight in WWE. I saw this story and I wanted to give this guy a shout out. His name is Randy Ellenbecker. He is in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. He's an official, and he refereed his last match yesterday. 51 years refereeing amateur wrestling.
Oh, wow.
And finally called it quits. So you got to imagine he's probably, in his 70s and still going at it. But I thought that was really cool for somebody to be doing it that long. So congratulations to Randy Ellenbecker on a terrific career. God bless you, dude, man. You got to put up with teenagers and stuff all the time. No.
And I'm seeing a clip of him online on X, where he leaves his shoes in the middle of the mat. That's cool.
Yeah, that is very cool. And what's going to be cool, by the way, don't forget AEW Dynamite Collision at the Pearl Theater at the Palms coming up on Wednesday, 4:30 start time. Get on over there, and you're going to join our winners, me and some other crazy wrestling fans over there in Las Vegas at the Palms Theater. Pearl Theater. We'd love to see you. So come on out. Ricochet's going to be stopping in the studio, so we'll be hearing from him probably with the interview on next week's show. Want to thank Phil Stamper at Trust in Phil, part of the Wrestling Revolver. Give him a follow. He's a great dude and a great account, so check it out. You can follow us at Mark Hoke Show on X, Facebook, and YouTube, and also Instagram, TikTok, the Mark Hoke Show. And we'll be seeing all of you very soon. Thank you very much, Las Vegas. We'll see you next time, and we'll see you out at the Palms on Wednesday. Have a great day, Las Vegas.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.